Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Poet. Um, Real quick, I've been a little excited. I've been a little frustrated, but most importantly, I've been thankful all day. Grateful for the blessings that He has given me, for allowing me to live another day, just because, just grateful because He is God and He loves us all. However, um, we're going to be real quick tonight. I truly doubt that it's going to be very long. Probably about another 10 minutes or so, if that. But I do want to talk to you real quick about this forgiveness issue. Okay. Um, I understand, just like the rest of you, it's not an easy task. It's not an easy task. I know it's easy for us to say we forgive a person. But the thing that we got to look at is if we can't forget it, and by forget it, I mean let it go. Just let it go. What we wind up doing is we cover it by saying there's a wall there. Yes, it's a wall there. That wall is a wall of unforgiveness. You're putting up a wall, you're building a wall of unforgiveness because you don't want to go through certain issues in life. We dismiss some of the things that, or overlook some of the things that Christ has told us. We can get everything that Christ said during his time on this earth and put it together. We'd understand a whole lot better um, as to how all this works and what it is we are actually supposed to be doing. It gets easier when you accept it, when you accept the commands, when you accept the instructions and you start to do it. It's just like learning something. Once you get it down packed, once you got it together, and then figured out the system in which operates it best, it comes like just habit forming. I don't want to say that, but it flows like water out of a hydrant. It's easy for you to do it. But you got to get past the rough edges, them sharp corners, and learn how to work it out and make it benefit you. Make the system work within you so that you can actually be pleasing to God, doing it His way. It's not as hard as we think it is. It's only hard because we believe it to be hard. I'm not telling you this like I got it all together because I don't. I told you at the beginning of this whole little thing here that we started. As I learn it, I'm gonna give it to you because I want us to learn and grow together, which means, hey, there are things that I know. There's a lot of things I don't know yet. I done touched on some things. I got somewhat of an idea as to how it works or whatever, but I'm constantly pushing myself through the discomfort. I'm getting to a point where I enjoy pushing myself through the discomfort. It's very uncomfortable denying yourself on a daily basis. It's very uncomfortable because with denying yourself comes your way of thinking no longer exists. Your understanding no longer exists. The way that you are accustomed to doing things, it no longer exists. And I'm saying it no longer exists, but in all actuality, you're having to push that out of you. You got to push it out the way. Get out of God's way. You're in the way. He can't operate the way he want to because you steady got. Well, let me say. I won't say get out of his way because we actually need to be in his way. I know for a lot of people that's gonna sound crazy, but yes, we actually need to be in God's way. It'll hit you one day. Hopefully, before you go to bed tonight, just think about that. Actually, say it to yourself. I need to get in God's way. Yeah, so He can see you. you know. Anyway, but we need to let go and stop trying to fix things ourselves. You cannot fix you. That is not going to happen. That is impossible. Only thing you can do is make yourself worse. You're going to get it's going to look good because you're starting to see those things that you want. And that's how the enemy work. He gonna flash them in front of you. He gonna let you touch it, let you hold it. Like when you say you go to a jewelry store and you see this ring that you really want, they let you hold it. You can put it on your finger. You can see how it look on your finger and all that stuff. But you better not turn around and walk out that door with it unless you pay for it. That's exactly how Satan do. He gonna flash it, let you touch it, feel it, smell it, see it, taste it, hear it, whatever it is. But in order for you to walk away with it, he wants your soul. That's the price that you got to pay for that thing, that item. He wants your soul. Which means now you got to constantly think about yourself. And with all that comes stress, worry, pain, frustration, confusion. Because you're thinking about yourself. I really want to get this over to you. Because see, when you stop thinking about yourself, it's easy to forgive people when they do something wrong to you. You know why? Because you don't care. I don't care what you say about me. I don't care how you perceive me. I don't care what it is you're trying to do to me. Because I don't care. All I need is the love of God. And that's why I love him so much. Because as long as I'm loving him, what you say, think, do, don't matter. The only thing that's making me hurt behind this is because I love him so much that I see what he's doing. And I know the consequences that you're going to have to face for what you're doing to me. So now I'm hurt and I'm praying and asking God, Lord, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Now, I don't want you to take what I just said and try to figure out if I'm trying to say this or if I'm trying to say that or what I mean by this. I meant it exactly the way I said it. When you love God that much, Your heart aches for people who are doing wrong to you. And you find yourself in a position to where, Lord, please forgive them. And the reason why is because you've been there. You know that you have done that before in your life. If not to one of your fellow friends or whatever, or a neighbor, people around you, you did it unto God. And He forgave you. And now that they're doing the same thing, you're knowing, because you've already experienced those consequences. Look, please stop. Don't do that. That's why the other night I said, you need to get to the point where it's automatic. Soon as they do it, you feel forgiveness all in you, because you know what that act that they just did is going to lead to. And when you get to that point, you immediately go into prayer. Father, forgive them. They don't know any better, Lord. They hadn't got to this point that I'm at in my life. Allow me to help them see that I'm not trying to harm them, but help them. That's loving your neighbor. Like the Good Samaritan. He loved that traveler because he seen the situation he was in, and all he wanted to do was help him. That's loving your neighbor. That's loving God. Now, when he saw that traveler, he didn't know if that traveler could muster up the strength to try and attack him, thinking that, hey, you're one of those who attacked me. I got to defend myself. He didn't even care about all that. I don't care what it is that's going on with this person. I see the situation and I am able to help them. Nurse them back to health. Put them back on their feet. Oh, it's the goodness of God. That's that part of Him that is in us that many of us haven't even tapped into yet. Because we're so caught up in self. We're so caught up in self that we can't forgive. I can't forgive you for what you did to me. Me, self. You did that to me. And if I keep letting you get away with it, then I'm a fool because I don't love myself. Well, you're not supposed to be loving yourself. You're supposed to be forgiving at all times. You're supposed to be in love with God. Loving Him, no matter what. The thing that gets me is those who say, no, God ain't told me to be no fool. I tell you this all the time. No, He didn't tell you to be a fool. He told you to love Him with all your heart and love your neighbors. When they came and asked Christ who was their neighbor, He gave them the parable of the Good Samaritan and asked them, of these three, which one was a neighbor to this traveler? Even sinners, even those who claim they knew it all but is lost and blind, knew the one who did good was the neighbor. We ought to love everyone, because the very one that you don't love is what's holding you back from what God is trying to give you. Why? Because there is a piece of Him in Everybody. I'm not saying that everybody is walking around here doing what they're supposed to be doing, because they're not. But it does not mean that that peace of God that He put in us when He breathed in us the breath of life is not there. If they're walking and talking and living and breathing, if they're breathing, they could be a vegetable, but they breathing on their own. Just laying in the bed, can't move or nothing. They breathing on their own. There's a piece of God in them. Some man, listen, there's people in wheelchairs and can't get up and do this and that, and they still breathing on their own and can't get healed because some of us won't get ourselves in the position to receive the gift that God has for us so that they can walk again, talk again, see again. We want all this materialistic stuff. Nobody wants anything that's got to do with helping someone else because we're bitter. We didn't become a bitter generation. And we got bitter because all we think about is ourselves. I love me. What am I gonna go over there and do this for? That ain't gonna do nothing but hold me back. You trying to pull me down. We read a few weeks ago in the scriptures where Christ said, "He that is last shall be first, and he that is first shall be last." I want to be the first one. The only way I'm going to be the first one is I got to learn how to humble myself. I told you about a month ago the way I perceive myself. Everyone is better than me. Each and every one of you are better than me. I'm low on the totem pole. I ain't rich. I ain't got it all together like everybody want to have it together. I ain't trying to get it together either. Not like that. Did you know the Bible said that there will come a time where money will no longer exist? Everybody chasing a bag, and by the time you get this bag, it's going to be worth less than nothing. Then what you going to do? You spend all your life trying to be like the millionaires. As soon as you got it, it was like the law changed. You know, the law change every day. Oh, we're not using money anymore. We don't even need banks. We're going back to trade. We're going back to get it how you live. Stacking your paper did you no good. It's in the Bible. They're going to do away with currency. Money has an end. I'm telling you. Only thing that is forever is God and His love, His word. It'll never end. There's gonna come a time where all those things you thought was worth something, God gonna show you it meant nothing. So why waste your time being unforgiving? Worst thing in the world is you can't forgive a person. Have you ever noticed that you done been into it with somebody and you've been holding this grudge against them? They've been coming to you, talking to you, trying to work things out. You ain't want to hear it. Cause you just, they just irk everything in you. Years go by, and all of a sudden you find yourself in a situation. And the only person really willing to help you is the one you can't stand. And you rather suffer. Go without. Talking about God gonna help me out of this. And this man or this woman is sitting here with what you need. And you keep turning them down because you can't stand them. Your unforgiveness then put up a wall to block you. You thought it was going to keep you from going through this pain again. But what it actually did was block you from getting your blessing. That's all unforgiveness do. It puts up a wall. It's a shield against the goodness of God. It keeps you from the very thing your spirit and heart truly desires. You want to do right. You want to watch your children grow up the right way. But you can't because you didn't put this wall up. So now you just subjected them to your unforgiveness. God trying to get in here and help you out. He can't because you got the shield up against him. You got on the wrong armor. You got on the armor of the enemy instead of the armor of God because you don't believe. You can't forgive. You just can't see yourself doing that. You love yourself too much to let go of what somebody done to you. And therefore, you're not letting God in. So you can't truly get to know him. And he can't truly get to know you. And that's why he said, depart from me, thou work of iniquity, for I never knew you. It's going to sink in. A few hours from now, after you done watch this video, God going to show you something on TV or whatever it is you're used to doing. He going to speak to you through whatever it is you're used to doing just to show you, hey, this is what I said. It's for real. You might read a book and the word unforgiven just jump out at you. That's God talking to you. You heard what he said. You heard what I said through him. You gonna try to act like it ain't real? Go on, finish reading the book you was reading earlier. I'm telling you, the Lord works in mysterious ways. He gonna get his point across to you. All he telling you to do is get self out the way. Self is in your way, which is keeping you from getting in God's way. That's what self is doing. It's blocking you, keeping you out of sight. Out of sight, out of mind. He don't know you. He can't see you because of yourself. Self got you all jacked up and you don't even know it. So what you saying? I'm supposed to continue letting people just hurt me and use me and mistreat me? Jesus did it. Oh, that's the Son of God. He lived his life to show you how to live yours. He was a living example as to what we supposed to do. He didn't come down here and do all this and perform. If all he was coming down here to do was die on the cross for our sins, he'd have got here, went straight to the cross, shed his blood, went on back. He wouldn't have gave us no lessons, teachings, instructions. But he did. He spent 3 years talking, showing. 3 years. What did he do the 30 years before that? Allowing himself to be subjected to the way that people are in the world. He was in the world, but he wasn't of the world. He had to see if it was possible to be in the world and not be of the world. He spent 30 years being in the world and not being of the world. And once he finally said, look, all they got to do is get rid of this. Get out of the way. Get out of their own way so that they can get in the way of the Father. And he spoke on it for 3 long years. Told you it was simple. Every time he healed someone, he said, your sins are forgiven. Go thy way and sin no more. I can hear y'all now trying to twist it. Just because he said go thy way, that did not mean for you to get in your way. That means go on. Do what it is you're supposed to be doing. Look, check this out now. Once you get in the way of the Father, that is your way. Why? Because that is your destination. That is what you are here for. It's your purpose. That self, remember, self is flesh. Once he make you whole and heal you and put you in a position to where now, at this moment, you're perfect. Now you're ready to operate in your purpose. Your purpose. Your purpose. Go thy way and sin no more. Because if you fall back into sin and become imperfect again, you're through. They coming back 10 times worse. He explained that. We're going to get into that one day too. Yeah. It's that simple. All these things that we are accustomed to doing leads to the root of the problem. And the root of the problem is self. I got to love me. I got to do this for me. No, it ain't about you. I got to do this for me. It's married couples walking around telling each other, no, I got to do this for me. Hold on. You got married to become one. Ain't no me in this. Ain't no individual or independent. Y'all a team. Y'all together. You work as a unit. I don't want to hear that I and me. It's a me and team, a I and unit, all that. I don't want to hear that. Use common sense. Be smarter than that. Stop thinking like that. That's the way of the world. We're in the world, but we're not of the world. We need to think on God's level of thinking. We become one. You know your position. I know my position. We operate in our position and do this together. I need some me time. What? Me time? You gave up your me time when you decided to say I do through sickness and in health, for better or worse, till death do we part. Man, some of y'all be thinking crazy. Well, it's a dead situation. No, there's still breath in your body, which means that's not the death. That's for better or worse. Stop trying to twist that. We've been taught to twist things so much we twist everything. For better or worse. When it's good, when it's just awful, you still together. I used to look. The Wayans brothers showed used to teach valuable lessons in the show called In Living Color. The old couple fighting like they trying to kill each other. And you walk in the room, seeing all this mess. Before you leave, they look at you and say it in unison. Unison. And we still together. No matter what they went through, they stuck it out. They kept their word. They let their yay be yay. Because they can get into it all through the day. But before they go to sleep, don't let the wrath go down. We quick to get a divorce. We quick to separate. We quick to depart. What? How, man? Just think about this now. What if you woke up one day and you told your hand to do something? You want to reach over there and grab your water, or you going in the bathroom to brush your teeth, and your hand said, "I don't feel like coming up there near your mouth." What if your arm decided, "I don't like being on this side no more. You don't want to swap with me? I'm leaving." Is it getting too crazy for you? I'm just being real though. Man, listen, that's why Christ said, Moses gave you the right to give a letter of divorce because of the hardening of your heart. But in the beginning, it was not so. Adam and Eve, y'all think y'all got some problems? Go back and look at that. Go back and look at what was going on or what happened to them. They didn't get no divorce. They got kicked out and went to having babies. Yeah, okay. I understand. You messed up. I messed up. Ain't nothing we can do about that. I'm sorry. I love you. Come here. And made a baby. We quick to blame them for some of the things we go through. Every time that time of the month come around, you women go, ooh, Eve, if I could just meet her, Eve probably knock you out. Drop you where you stand. 9 times out of 10, you don't want them problems. Real talk. You want to blame her for that. She was a bigger, better woman than you'd ever be. Because her husband shouldn't even touch the fruit. But he did. She knew that law wasn't given to her by God. It was given to her by him. He's supposed to chastise her and not even went that route. But he did it anyway. She could have left him. How about I divorce you? I'm going to go find me another man that's stronger than you. Because you was weak. Isn't that what y'all say? Adam could have divorced her. Where you bring me this fruit for? I told you we wasn't supposed to. You hard-headed. Leave you. I'm gone. No, they didn't do that because they understood how God felt. What God said mattered. Even though they just messed up and did what they shouldn't have did, they knew better. They know what God said. They knew what they said. And for them to do anything other than what they said would make them a liar. He said, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. For this cause shall a man leave father and mother and be joined to his wife, that the two become one. Ain't no more separating. Ain't no such thing as me time. Ain't no such thing as now I'm going to go sleep in this room tonight. Or you go sleep on the couch tonight. So now you letting the sun go down on the wrath you got for your spouse? What? God said don't do that. And you going to put this man on the couch. Or you going to put her in another room. Y'all going to put each other out the bed. You better get that together. Learn the meaning of break up to make up or something. Cause she go to sleep in there on that couch cause she mad at you, or he go to sleep in there on that couch cause you mad at him. You got to deal with that. It's some issues that come behind that. Y'all been in love since high school. Here you is, both of you got college degrees, you got your own businesses and stuff, and you're out here, and then you done got mad at him because he looked this way, or he did this, or he did something he shouldn't have did. She said something she shouldn't have said, and you made him sleep on the couch. Now you done open the door, and here come lust. Because we stuck on self, we can't forget about what you did to me. You made me sleep on the couch after you said for better or worse. Through sickness and in health. And here come this fine, pretty young thing here. I'm telling you, learn the works of the enemy. The greatest gift he got is convincing you to say what he wants you to say. If he gets you to say anything about yourself and get you to thinking that yourself got to do this before you can do that. Yeah, Eve, loving yourself ain't gonna make you miss out on God. He know if you love yourself, you're gonna understand life better. That's the way of Satan, Lucifer, who used to be an archangel. Huh. He knows how to twist the word of God and make you believe it to be true. He know how to dress it up. Bible said when Eve looked upon that fruit after Satan got through speaking to her, it looked good. They wasn't even supposed to touch the tree. She done touched it, took it, and ate it because she believed what he set before her, how he dressed it up. Y'all think about that. You got to have him. You can't get him as long as you in your own way. Get out of self and get in the way of God. That's going to be my time for tonight. I hope y'all seriously think about what was said here. And as always, love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, leaning not unto thine own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. Amen.